WTU.
Just unbelievable. We are very, very encouraged.
Aftershocks are continuing. The pressures Wall Street faces after a very bad week. And the private side of a public man. Tapes of Lyndon Johnson talking to Robert Kennedy on election night 1964.
We got a lot to be thankful for, Bobby, and give our love to Ethel, and let's stay as close together as he'd want us to.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News, reported by John Siegenthaler.
Good evening, everyone. Another major aftershock jolted the people of Taiwan today, killing 3 more and adding to the death toll of more than 2,000. But now, amid the death and destruction, the most remarkable story of survival yet, the rescue of 2 brothers buried since Monday. NBC's Kevin Tibbles has the story.
Just as hope was running out, a double miracle amid the rubble in Taiwan's capital, Taipei. Rescue workers at a collapsed 12-story hotel found 2 brothers alive and in good shape.
I would say, yes, God bless us. Yes, it's really a miracle.
The brothers, one of them 23, the other 20, were pinned between a sofa and a refrigerator for more than 130 hours. They'd been playing cards when the killer quake hit. They stayed alive by eating rotten apples and drinking their own urine. But alive they are, emerging from their ordeal with only minor respiratory problems from all the dust and smoke.
Basically, these 2 survivors, they are in a very satisfactory and stable condition.
What spirits these workers on now is something the survivors are telling them. They say that up until yesterday they heard noises, that other people may have been trapped inside alive. But rescue efforts continue to be hampered by aftershocks. This morning's hit 6.8 on the Richter scale, a strong earthquake in itself, sending search teams scrambling for their lives as chunks of rubble tumbled down from above. 3 more people were killed when already weakened buildings collapsed. The death toll is now over 2,000. But today's rescues have reinvigorated the search effort. Everyone believes there are more miracles to come.
Just unbelievable. We are very, very encouraged.
Relatives of the missing gather across the street, scanning the rubble, sometimes pointing, praying that today's dramatic rescue won't be the last. Kevin Tibbles, NBC News, Taipei, Taiwan.
To Hawaii's Big Island now, and word of the crash of a sightseeing plane with 10 aboard. There were no survivors. The plane went down on the side of the Mauna Loa volcano in Volcano National Park. Rescue teams are now recovering the bodies. No word on what caused the crash. Aerial visits to Volcano National Park are popular because they give tourists a chance to visit areas which are inaccessible by car. On to Wall Street and the ongoing worries that the stock market will keep sliding when trading resumes tomorrow. Maria Bartiromo covers the market for CNBC.
The calm before the storm. In a matter of hours, this floor and these computers will be ground zero as Wall Street tries to recover from a terrible week. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped by 524 points last week, a 9% drop, the biggest one-week loss ever. This in a year when the Dow had surged, even after bursting through the once unimaginable 10,000 mark back in March. This current downturn is sending the Dow Jones back to levels it hasn't seen since spring. And the decline of the dollar is one of the problems. It is currently near the lowest level against the Japanese yen since 1996. John.
Maria, are there prospects for that to change?
There is an expectation that the dollar will move higher this week because the G7 partners met over the weekend. They expressed concern that the Japanese yen is actually too strong.
And what else should we watch for this week?
Well, the next 2 weeks, John, is typically the time that companies announce whether earnings will meet expectations. So good news or bad news from a major company will dictate the market's direction. John.
All right, Maria Bartiromo of CNBC, thank you very much. And when NBC Nightly News continues in a moment, the emergency down on the farm, which Washington hasn't responded to. And later, in focus, LBJ in his own words.
Oh, yeah, I'm on a seafood diet. I see food, I eat it. But thanks to Healthy Choice, I've got a nutritional guardian angel. Like the roast chicken. All the fixins, only 6 grams of fat. What is that, like A sit-up, healthy choice. Figured it out. Chicken breast, smothered in a mushroom wine sauce, veggies so fresh tasting, they bite back. It's a plate full of good eating. There's no room for extra salt and fat. Choose healthy choice. How easy is that?
Enterprise rent-a-car for my trip? Looks expensive.
It's not expensive, Mom.
They pick us up? Sounds expensive.
Pickup's free, Mom.
Well, if it's not expensive, why didn't I get a convertible?
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
You didn't save me any?
There wasn't enough.
Quaker Toasted Oatmeal Squares. Crunchy whole grain squares with a hint of brown sugar. You haven't wanted a cereal this badly since you were a kid.
On Capitol Hill, when the issue is aid to farmers, politics is never far behind. That's especially true this year. NBC's Joe Johns has our report.
It's been a tough year on the farm. Drought has cost American farmers up to $1.2 billion. What's more, prices for commodities like corn and soybeans reached some of the lowest levels in decades because of worldwide surpluses. Meanwhile, the administration claims that pending legislation to provide emergency assistance doesn't offer enough disaster aid and would not reach the farmers who need the most help.
The people who get the payment ought to be the ones who've actually planted the crop and suffered the loss.
The administration is arguing for a convoluted, difficult-to-administer disaster program that will take months to put in place. We're trying to get the farmers funds right now when they need it.
The $8 billion proposal would give $5.5 billion in direct payments to farmers and $500 million in weather-related assistance. But the bill has stalled over controversial proposals to lift farm export restrictions and change dairy pricing policies.
People in the countryside are just scratching their heads. They don't understand how there can be delay about just getting some emergency assistance.
Meanwhile, the damage caused by Hurricane Floyd has all but assured that the cost of federal disaster assistance to farmers will go up, and soon. But the extent of the losses caused by the storm and flooding still is not known, so the government can't estimate how much it will cost. While the administration has complained about the bill, it has not threatened a veto, and both parties are trying to position themselves as friends of farming communities in time for next year's elections. Joe Johns, NBC News, the Capitol.
And tomorrow, another candidate officially enters the Republican presidential race. He's Arizona Senator John McCain, and lately he's been riding high. The story from NBC's Jonathan Alter.
Hi, Senator McCain. It's so wonderful to see you.
Thank you for your patience.
They're lining up in Washington, Phoenix, Chicago. John McCain's new memoir appeared this weekend as number 3 on the New York Times bestsellers list and moving higher.
I want to inspire generations of Americans to commit themselves to causes greater than their self-interest.
The book tells of the senator's father and grandfather, both legendary Navy admirals, plus McCain's own youthful carousing, and his 5.5 harrowing years in a North Vietnamese prison camp, 2 of those years in solitary confinement. Hanoi offered to release the Navy pilot early for propaganda purposes.
He knows what they want to do, and he tells them to stick it in their ear. And he's a hero beyond belief in my mind.
But do heroes become presidents? Can the story of grit and courage in this book give long-shot John McCain a real shot of upsetting George W. Bush? McCain argues that history has not always been kind to presidential front-runners.
Well, I have fond memories of President Romney and President Connolly and President Muskie.
But recent history hasn't especially favored heroes in presidential politics either. Former astronaut John Glenn didn't lift off in 1984, and Medal of Honor winner Bob Kerrey went nowhere in 1992 against Bill Clinton, who didn't serve in Vietnam. The same for Bob Dole, whose World War II heroism did him little good in 1996.
To just say, look, I've been a person who's suffered in war, please vote for me, is just foolish. People vote for candidates on the basis of their vision for the future of the country and who can best lead them.
The senator says he's running on his record as a strong conservative with a strong independent streak, which includes bucking his party by leading efforts to sharply limit campaign contributions from special interests.
What has resonated in New Hampshire and South Carolina is what we call straight talk.
McCain's best hope is to finish a strong second to Bush in New Hampshire, then upset him in South Carolina, where 400,000 veterans are expected to vote. But to beat Bush elsewhere, John McCain knows he must make his ideas for the future as compelling as his book about his past.
I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Jonathan Alter, NBC News, Chicago.
One in the race and apparently one out of the race. This late word from Associated Press that former Vice President Dan Quayle is apparently going to drop out. More on that tomorrow. When NBC Nightly News continues, inside the Johnson White House.
My dentures always fit fine. I never thought of them as a problem until I saw the video of my son's wedding. It was then that I decided to try Fixodent.
Because Fixodent adjusts to the unique contours of your dentures and gums, forming a thin, powerful seal for a better hold than you ever thought possible.
It was like a whole new feeling, so snug and secure. For once, I actually forgot that I even wore dentures. So now, I like what I see.
Find out for yourself what it feels like to Fixodent and forget it.
If heaven were a beach, you'd have the bluest skies, the warmest waves, and Red Lobster's ultimate feast. Lobster tail, snow crab legs, shrimp scampi, and golden fried butterfly shrimp. Escape to Red Lobster.
If you had to be stranded on a deserted island with just one other person, who would it be? A boat builder? Or a survival expert? Perhaps a fisherman? Or would it just be someone who looks really good in a swimsuit? Introducing the all-new 2000 Mitsubishi Eclipse, nicely equipped at 17.7. There are more sensible choices, but who cares?
Got heartburn up in your chest and throat? Only Gaviscon Liquid forms a soothing, protective barrier that helps keep acid down, something Maalox and Mylanta can't do. Gaviscon Liquid. It helps keep acid down where it belongs.
That meeting is going to start whether I get rid of this headache or not. So I took something stronger, something faster. I took Advil liquid gels. They're stronger and faster on tough pain than extra-strength Tylenol. It makes sense that they are. Liquid gels are the only pain reliever with liquid inside. Nobody else has that. Nobody. So when you want something that's faster on tough headaches than Tylenol, take Advil liquid gels. Pain relief that's stronger and faster.
Monday, how safe are you on the road? Forget big trucks. New cars, lighter and faster, could be a bigger threat. A new study and what you should know on NBC Nightly News Monday.
In focus this evening, the private side of Lyndon Baines Johnson. The insights on this nation's 36th president come from 35-year-old tapes of telephone conversations, which were released to the public just days ago. He was sworn in on Air Force One as it carried President Kennedy's body back to Washington. And he dedicated himself to enacting JFK's legislative agenda. Within a year, there was a new civil rights law which prohibited discrimination. He launched the war on poverty, pushed the establishment of Medicare. By election time in 1964, he was politically invincible, winning 61% of the popular vote in November, the widest vote margin in presidential election history. After his landslide victory, he made one of his first phone calls to Robert Kennedy, the late president's brother.
I thought everything went better than we had a right to expect.
He was terrific. Well, you did a great job.
We got a lot to be thankful for, Bobby, and give our love to Ethel, and let's stay as close together as he'd want us to.
That'd be fine, Mr. President. Congratulations, though.
Tell all that staff of yours that ain't nobody going to divide us, and I'll tell mine the same way, and we'll move ahead, and there's plenty in life for all of us.
That's right. That's right.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks very much, and thanks for your help.
Thank you for calling.
Made a hell of a difference.
Bye.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. received a call within days of Johnson's victory.
I thought I'd call half a dozen or so folks and tell them how much I appreciate their confidence and what a good job I thought they'd done and how they justified their faith and how many more now we've got to help get out of their bondage.
Yes, well,
We're certainly all very happy about the outcome. It was just such a great victory, and I certainly appreciate your calling. We have some bright days ahead, I think. Well, it was a great tribute to the intelligence, the judgment, the patriotism of the Negro people that they couldn't mislead them and they couldn't fool them, and their leaders, I think, made great progress from them, and I know they all take great pride in your great honor.
LBJ said he wanted King's help in planning the war on poverty, which King supported.
Well, good. And again, let me congratulate you and say what a great moment we think this is for our country. It was a great victory for the forces of progress and a defeat for the forces of retrogress. And I think we have some great challenges and opportunities ahead, and we're all with you.
But the Vietnam War cast a long shadow over the Johnson presidency. His concern about it evident in a conversation with Defense Secretary Robert McNamara in November of '64.
What about Vietnam?
Mac and Dean and I spent about an hour and a half on it today, and it's just a worrisome problem. None of us have a pat answer that we're ready to give you yet. I think we will be ready to talk about it early next week. I don't think there's any strong sentiment for trying to go in and clobber China at the moment, other than in a strictly military organization, and I'm sure we can sit on top of that. I do think there's a general feeling that the current course is leading to some kind of a form of accommodation with the Chinese, probably through a popular front government initially, and that this is not good, and that there may be something in between the current course and this clobber China school that will help us strengthen our position here.
1 year later, Johnson escalated the U.S. combat role in a major way. By 1968, the war had become so controversial that Johnson withdrew as a candidate for re-election. When NBC Nightly News continues, a former dictator heads to court.
What a close call with my overactive bladder. Having to go suddenly, needing to go so frequently. But that time, I almost didn't make it. That did it. I asked my doctor about Detrol.
Overactive bladder is a medical condition. Today's prescription Detrol is proven effective to treat it. Detrol reduced bathroom visits by 2.2 times in 24 hours versus 1.1 times with placebo. 1.2 fewer wedding accidents occurred with Detrol versus 0.8 fewer with placebo. Similar decreases over 24 hours. If you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems, do not take Detrol. The most common side effect is dry mouth. Some others may include dry eyes, headache, constipation, and indigestion.
Enjoy the movie?
Thanks to Detrol.
Ask your doctor about prescription Detrol, proven effective to treat overactive bladder.
Frogs do not have the active response system. And it shows. Only the Alero has the active response system, with 16 features working together to connect you to the road. Frog, without the active response system. Alero, with the active response system. Alero, by Oldsmobile. Start something.
On the season premiere of Dateline Sunday, what makes circus animals go out of control? Watch this hidden camera video and decide for yourself. An all-new Dateline tonight.
The countdown to 2000 in Pioneer Courthouse Square has begun.
Chevy Silverado has the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. That's more powerful than Ford. That's more powerful than Dodge. That's why it's the truck. Silverado from Chevy. Now get $500 cash back on 99 Silverado 4x4 or up to $1,000 cash back on select other Silverado models.
In England, it's a turning point for Chile's former dictator, Augusto Pinochet, a man human rights activists have targeted for decades. Here's NBC's Donna Friesen.
At 84 and in failing health,
Augusto Pinochet has been under frequent medical supervision since he was arrested in England 11 months ago. Ever since, opponents of the former Chilean dictator have been demanding what will finally get underway tomorrow in this London courtroom, the first extradition hearing ever for a former head of state. Pinochet's supporters are preparing for the worst.
In all likelihood, the magistrate will rule that he should stand some sort of trial in Spain.
In Spain, because this Spanish judge charged Pinochet with massive human rights abuses, claiming he is responsible for the disappearance or murder of some 3,000 Chileans in the 1970s, when Pinochet ruled with an iron fist. Since then, changes in international law have fueled the effort to bring charges against Pinochet.
He is not entitled to state immunity.
The former strongman, with help from some high-profile friends, has been fighting against extradition and for his freedom.
That is you who brought democracy to Chile.
But those who want him extradited to Spain have mounted a fierce campaign of their own, one they are confident they have won.
There's an international community that have pointed the finger that you are a murderer.
Pinochet's extradition hearing is expected to last 5 days. Whatever the outcome, it will likely be appealed. The case could drag on for months. Donna Friesen, NBC News, London.
Peacekeepers in Kosovo are patrolling what remains a very violent place. Today, a Kosovar Albanian was shot dead, his assailant unknown. But there are signs of peace, too, helped along by civilians, some of them from far away. NBC's Martin Fletcher reports.
Once, police in the corridor brought terror to the classroom. But these are the first recruits to Kosovo's new police force. Until now, the only police the kids knew were Serbs, the former cruel rulers of Kosovo. He says they killed our teachers. But most of these police are ethnic Albanians.
It's going to take some time for the people to change their mindset, not to fear the police.
Patrolman Skander Gocai came from Westland, Michigan to help. Keeping Kosovo safe for kids is personal for Gocai. He was born here. When he heard Kosovo needed help, he quickly swapped the streets of Michigan for the streets of Kosovo. It has its reward.
Wow. Just gutted. You can see the mortar damage here.
His partner here, another Albanian speaker, Officer Uli Dautai from the NYPD.
We got more bullet holes here. I'm overwhelmed with what I see over here. Sad thing.
2 American patrolmen, now cops in Kosovo, where Skander can visit the house he grew up in, now burnt by the Serbs.
See the mortar hole?
Yeah.
That was it.
That was your bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make you hate the Serbs?
No, I think it's, all people in all races. You have good people, you have bad people. But it's just a casualty of war.
Their job is to recruit people to the police, Serbs as well as ethnic Albanians. 200 recruited so far.
Their aim is to recruit another 3,500 men and women this year and turn them into good cops, not the bad cops people are used to here.
Everywhere, destruction and chaos, but they've learned something too.
You realize that policing isn't just about locking people up and writing tickets. It's about human rights.
A lesson they will take home to their beats in New York and Michigan. Better cops and better people. Martin Fletcher, NBC News, Kosovo.
In Belgrade, Serbia today, a crowd of 45,000 people marched through downtown in a protest against Yugoslav President Slobodan Milosevic. Opposition groups blame him for Serbia's economic problems and for losing Kosovo. When NBC Nightly News continues in a moment, changing times at Lincoln High. Meet the newest members of the varsity football team.
Now our first denture cleanser keeps dentures feeling clean all day. New Fix-It-Ent with ProGuard, a breakthrough tablet and bath system. First, place your dentures into the bath and release the power of ProGuard to get them 4 times cleaner. Then you lift the inner basket to help seal in the clean with the ProGuard barrier, protecting against plaque and odor-causing bacteria from morning till night. Fix-It-Ent with ProGuard. Start cleaner, stay cleaner.
This is a court-ordered legal notice. If you own a house, mobile home, or other structure that contains polybutylene pipe with plastic or metal insert fittings, you may be entitled to free replacement of your plumbing if it has leaked or leaks in the future. The plumbing must have been installed between January 1st, 1978 and July 31st, 1995. Call 1-800-392-7591 for information about your legal rights, including your right to exclude yourself from this class action settlement if you purchased your structure after August 21st, 1995.
If heaven were a beach, you'd have the bluest skies, the warmest waves, and Red Lobster's ultimate feast. Lobster tail, snow crab legs, shrimp scampi, and golden fried butterfly shrimp. Escape to Red Lobster.
We're going to change your mind about coloring your gray with the natural look of Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Just for Men penetrates hair deep inside where natural color begins. Simply apply, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
This week, the author of a controversial new biography on Ronald Reagan, Annette Bening, Garth Brooks, and priceless advice for parents, how to keep your kids from fighting. This week on Today. It's like Today, only later. Later today, weekdays on NBC.
NBC tonight on an all-new Third Watch. As a partner struggles for life, the city can't wait. And in one amazing moment,
Just don't let go. Hail Mary, full of grace.
a hero is born. All-new Third Watch, NBC tonight, 8/7 Central.
Finally, from Los Angeles, the story of 4 members of a high school football team who turn dreams into reality and give the term game face a whole new meaning is NBC's Colleen Dominguez.
Friday nights, the faithful gather to carry on an American tradition, high school football. With its big brassy bands, spirited cheerleaders, and 22 hard-charging warriors knocking each other around. A game dominated by males, unless you go to Lincoln High School.
Dioselina Macias, running back. Patricia Mora, lineman. Ristana Cruz, running back. Imelda Chaparro, lineman.
At a Los Angeles area high school, these young ladies are rewriting the playbook.
It could be a first. 4 girls playing varsity football, taking hits and giving them right along with the guys, and having the time of their lives.
I was tired of the same old drill team and the softball. I already had played softball. I played soccer. I was just looking for something different, something, I guess, with more contact.
The girls approached Coach Leo Castro last spring.
You know, you're going to get some heat from different people, from your peers and your friends, and there are people saying not to play football. It's a man's game. I said, but you're welcome to come out. If you want to play football, you can.
So they spent the summer working out, preparing to prove themselves on the gridiron, never asking for special treatment.
As long as I get back up and show them, you know what, I'm not going to give up. You know, hit me as hard as you can, I can take it.
Even teammates who once were skeptical now are supportive.
I feel proud about them sticking out, taking the hits and everything.
They've come to accept us for who we are. You know, we're girls and we're playing football, so they got to respect us for that.
In fact, the whole school respects what they're doing.
During our pep rallies, when they call their names, they get the most supplies.
In recent years, football has not been a big priority at Lincoln High. Only 41 players tried out for the team. Their record over the last 3 years, just 9 wins, 24 losses. But they've managed to gain the attention of their opponents.
When I was on the line, one of them looked up at me and just smiled. I was like, uh-oh, he knows I'm a girl.
She smiled back and then tried to flatten him. Colleen Dominguez, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And that is NBC